Hey, day 12 of the prostate cancer radiation report. And let me just start by saying prostate cancer radiation is not anything if it's not humiliating and embarrassing. And today was one of those things. It's fresh, so I'm still a little embarrassed by it, but I'm sure someday it will end up being an hilarious story. In fact, one of my colleagues at work actually mentioned, you realize you're telling all this stuff online and your podcast and different things in these stories, and once you're good and once you've kicked cancer's butt and you're all well and everything's good and all that, you're going to be walking around the hallway of a professional convention or conference, and people are going to have an awful lot of jokes about you. And I was like, yeah, I know, but if the incontinent jokes are the worst thing that happens because of this, I'm going to consider that a win. But that said, today happened to be the day that they let my wife come back to the radiation clinic back there and see all the stuff, see the observation. They coached her through and all that, and she was there to witness everything. And so today of all days is the most challenging part of all. So I've mentioned before how difficult it is to have a full bladder and empty bowels. And they get me all set up, they're on the table, and before they start the radiation, they have to do an x-ray scan of everything, and they x-ray my bladder, my bowels. And of course, today was the day that my bowels were completely too full. And so not only was my wife there to see how full of crap I was, her and my wonderful rad techs were now best friends apparently, because all they could do was laugh and chuckle as to how full of crap I am. And now they offered to print the picture out of my colon, full colon, for my wife so that she could have proof that Matt is indeed full of crap, which is something she's been saying her whole life. And now the rad tech team knows that I'm full of crap, and it'll be an ongoing joke, I'm sure, for a while. But the difficulty with that is, of course, they couldn't administer the radiation. So I had the incredibly difficult task of trying to empty my bowels without emptying my bladder. And I alluded to that before, but now the pressure was on, the team was waiting, my wife is there, she's laughing, and it was an incredibly difficult task to do. So you can imagine this. They had to give me, I'm debating on how much detail to give everybody here, but they had to give me a clamp to keep my urine stream at bay. So you can imagine just the scene in the bathroom there. And like I said, prostate cancer radiation is nothing if it's not utterly humiliating and emasculating. And so that's what the story was today. The good news is I realized I now have a new superpower that I've been working on, and I was able to empty the bowels and retain enough urine in my bladder to get the treatment today. So that was an incredibly difficult experience. Again, embarrassing, but like I said before, I think I mentioned this on the Kutz and Conan podcast, that this is an incredibly humiliating kind of thing, but I mean, it is what it is. And so I thought I would share that story with you today. Otherwise, things are going okay. And again, just moving upward. Really thrilled that it's a weekend, so I get the next couple days off to not have to do that. So anyways, I will come to you on Monday with day 13.